All right, welcome. It is Wednesday again. It seems like every week just zips on by, but we're here again, and we're in the lovely school again. Uh, and today's guest is Laura Steffen. So, what do you do at Gateway Woods?
I teach the English classes and do all the other teacher responsibilities.
Very good. So, this is your second stint here at Gateway, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So, rewind back. What brought you to Gateway the very first time that you came?
Um, I was friends with one of the then current teachers, and she mentioned to me that they had an opening. It wasn't something I had considered, but as I prayed about it, I really felt like that was something that a way God could use me, and I could learn a lot too.
So, what at that point, where were you working, or what were you doing?
I was just graduating from college, so it was my very first teaching job.
Okay.
I had done some student teaching in Lima, Ohio, in their city schools, and had my eyes open to a lot of things that kids deal with that I didn't have in my own background, but that really felt like they were opportunities to help those students.
Very good. As always, if you have any questions, please chime in. So that would have been how long ago that you were first here?
2009.
Okay. And then how long did you teach?
I was here through 2014, so
Okay.
taught for 5 school years, and then I did 1 year of kind of some just helping out in classrooms part-time.
Very good. So that's probably, other than Miss Zimmy and maybe one or two others, that's one of the longest standing teacher. I don't even know the word for that. You're an English. What word would work there? Tenures? Is
Yeah,
that
probably.
okay? All right. So what brings you back today? This current stint that you're on.
Well, I was looking for another part-time English job, but the opening was there, and I really have enjoyed all my time at Gateway, and felt like it was just an opportunity to serve again as they continue to have a need.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy the work.
Very good. Well, to me, you are very sweet, and so does that. Do the kids try to take advantage of your sweetness, or do you have a tough side to you?
Probably both. I'm sure that I'm not as intimidating as some of the other teachers for sure, but I like to hope that I hold them to the same standards. But probably am a little more laid back in some areas than too.
That's okay. I'm the same way. So, very good. So English. What is kind of like your passion when it comes to teaching English? Because there's lots of facets to obviously the English language and what you could teach. But
literature is probably my favorite.
Okay.
I love to read, and I like to teach books that are kind of challenging maybe some of the assumptions kids might have, or ask them to really analyze what it says about people and society, and kind of some of those books with a message behind the story.
Yeah, very good. So what is a going book these days in high school? Because for me, I remember it was Jonathan Livingston Seagull or something like that.
Well, we're still reading some of the old school things. We're reading. We just started Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Oh, nice.
So we're examining morality and temptation and some of those things.
Very good. Yeah, that's the beauty thing of literature, and just there's so much depth to it. I mean, if you watch a TV show or a movie or something like that, it's like you see what you get, but a book, there's just so many more layers because it's not visual that you have to really unpack.
Makes it a little easier to integrate some of the biblical principles without, you don't have to necessarily pull out a Bible verse, but we can look at what does it say about us as people and our relationship with each other and with God.
Yeah, very good. So what is your family like? Obviously you're married.
My husband Sam and I have a daughter Elise, who is 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how is that?
So she just started preschool this fall.
Okay.
And so lots of changes and shifts in our schedule, but it seems to be going all right.
Good. Yeah, our second, Jude, just started preschool, and he's loving it.
Yeah, it's a tiring day, but she does like it.
Very good. So, and then he dabbles in photography a little bit, right?
Just kind of as a hobby.
Yeah.
Right, he's an engineer.
Okay, very good. And so, in your teaching, whether it's this time or last time, what is kind of a story that just really kind of stands out to you? A fun memory or something that really God spoke?
I think I just enjoy seeing the change when kids think, I can't read, I'm not a reader, and then realizing that with practice and as they put forth, when they start enjoying books for the first time, and when they tell me, I read ahead, or that's the first book I finished, that's always rewarding too. Or just when you assign writing assignments about their lives and hearing some of their stories, you get to know them in a way that you don't necessarily get through your regular classroom interaction, and just get a deeper perspective on where they've been. Those are some of my, I guess, favorites. They're not particular instances, but
that's really good. Yeah, I think anytime when you see a resistance kind of break down, a wall kind of start to crumble, that's exciting, because you see the light kind of shining in and dispelling the darkness. And you have that opportunity as a teacher. We have that opportunity just in life. But yeah, what an awesome thing to do. So what is something that you kind of struggle with, kind of just in teaching in general, whether it's here or anywhere else? A challenge for a teacher, I guess.
I think with teaching, you have to find the right balance between challenging students and yet putting them at a level where they feel like they can succeed. Many of them are used to not doing well, and so they don't think that they can, but they have the ability to do so much more. And so giving them work that's a challenge and that's still rigorous, and yet something that it's not going to overwhelm them and make them give up, is always a delicate balance between the two.
No, that's good, because I think even with our oldest, he's in first grade, and he wants to give up before he even starts, and it's just really talking into that and saying, no, you got to try it, and so at least give it your best, and we'll walk through it together. And so
it's really more about teaching kind of some of those academic habits or life habits that really have not that much to do with what we're learning, but at the same time, if they take away those things, they'll probably be better off than being able to tell me what happened in a novel or the grammar terms.
Very good. So this is a part-time position for you. So we're still looking for a full-time English teacher, correct? So how, obviously you're enjoying this part-time, and is this something that you're going to maybe want to go full-time again now that your daughter's in school, or what does that look like for you?
At some point, I'd like to teach full-time again, probably somewhere with a little bit less of a drive for me, just because it makes the day longer. But kind of until Lisa's in school full-time, it's not, I don't really want to be here 40 hours a week.
Very good. Yeah, it's always nice, like in life, I mean, life can just zip by us, but having some of those goals and set up, and so it's very good. So is there anything that you would like to share, just that you've learned being here?
Nice. If anybody is thinking about the job, I found it to be far more rewarding, I guess, than obviously there are the stresses and the challenges, but there are a lot of benefits for working in a small school and having the support that we have here. I've worked a couple different places in between, and they have their benefits too, but there's just something about Gateway that kind of pulls you back.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, it's just the mission is just really strong. It's anytime you're teaching, you have education, that's a very noble thing, but when we can layer it in the gospel, it's that much more compelling for us as Christians to want to be a part of that.
I was kind of thinking, in a public school, you're trying to please the parents and the state, and you want to do a good job, but it might be for a different reason. But here, really, what we're trying to do is please God, and that it's refreshing because that doesn't change what His expectations are. He's constant. We don't have to worry about how the next political agenda or whatever is going to change our mission, because it's going to remain the same.
Very good. So, do we have any comments?
We do have a question from Rob Parker. He says there are a lot of stigmas attached to kids who have come from hard places, and there are a lot of voices out there that cast doubts on their ability to have a successful future. What do you believe about these kids?
I think that so many of these kids are stronger because of what they've been through, and they've shown their stamina and what they've been through, and that they can learn things that those of us maybe that had what we might call easy backgrounds have never been challenged with. And so I think they have the ability maybe to be even more successful. Granted, they have a lot to overcome, but they have a lot of inner resolve that I don't know that I would have had at their
Sure.
age. So
Yeah, there's that resiliency that they can just really kind of withstand. But when you've been knocked down so many times, it's just the desire is not there sometimes.
Yeah.
And so just really encouraging them, giving them that desire again, because they have the tools, they have the tenacity to do it. We know that. So
it's just
very
getting
good.
them to believe that they
Yeah.
can do what they can.
Very good. Anything else?
Nope. Just, what's your favorite book, Laura?
I thought I might get that question. I like way too many books. What's my favorite?
What's
Do you
your
have a
favorite
author?
Yeah.
I think some of my favorite authors to teach are Charles Dickens. I enjoy
Okay.
some of his writing, but I also know that it's challenging
Sure.
for modern readers. But I've kind of become more of a nonfiction person. I like to read like survival stories and true life accounts, sometimes about like disasters too. But
Sure. But here's a book
So-
that's for you, maybe heard of it. It's called Fearless. It's about a Navy SEAL and his life, and just kind of overcoming a lot of addictions and just really struggles in his
Sounds
life. But
interesting.
his team was the team that went after Osama bin Laden. But yeah, it's a Christian story. I got it through the library, but it's a survival story at the very top.
Like Unbroken.
Yeah,
Sam
it's
Perot.
very like that. It's just more of a modern day example.
Yeah.
So, very true story. All right, well, I've enjoyed this. I'll let you get back to class
All right.
and keep teaching
Thank
those
you.
kids. But thank you, and we'll see you guys next week.